Okay guys, welcome back. So we've got some market moving price action this morning. I want to get into that, guys. Drop me a thumbs up. Check out my course if you have not taken that yet. That's going to teach you how to spot this stuff before I can get these videos out. It really gives you a skill set rather than just following along. You're never going to be able to get clean positions and good entries on trades if you don't know what you're doing, okay? And the videos are going to be, behind, they're late to the game. I just can't get them in a timely manner. So the course will teach you that skill set. If you're interested, check it out. Link in the description below, guys. All right, real quick, guys, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow. That live stream is going to be for everyone. I have not started the membership, so I will be doing that tomorrow morning. Might be a little rough. We'll see. I've got a concert to go to tonight, but we'll see. All right, but tomorrow morning, around 9 o'clock, 9:15 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so check that out. All right, now getting into the charts. A couple things. We have a beautiful short entry or addition, short add-on on the market this morning. So I want to point that out. Triple Q's on the hourly chart. We'll go to the daily chart just to start off. Again, we've got the big downtrend. This is the downtrend that Triple Q's has really been in since it started its bear market. So here's pretty much the all-time highs. You've got one tag of there, and then we've got a zone of resistance right in here. So resistance, from my perspective, is about that 327.80-ish area up to about 329. That's kind of key resistance. Okay, so relatively limited upside. I mean, I think from where we're at now to get up there, you've got about 2.5%, 3% upside. And then we have the trend line, or the rally that we've been in over the last couple months, is this trend line right there. So that's kind of the key areas I'm focusing on. This big downtrend line and that trend line down there. And the trend line, down there is a move of about 8.5%. So risk reward, you've got potential of 3% upside for an 8.5% downside. So the risk is to the downside. Someone keeps kind of telling me they think the SPY is going to 2,400, 4,200. I don't trade the SPY a lot. Yeah, 4,200. And I responded. I said, yeah, that might be true, but to me, it's kind of like picking up nickels in front of the steamroller. So that just says the risk to the reward for me to stay long to the upside is minimal, where the risk that it's going to start selling off is a lot more. So I'd rather trade the area where you have larger potential for gain. Okay, if you're into gambling or poker, that's called pot odds. You want to make the bets when you have good pot odds, where you have good probability of making a good return, risk reward. Okay, I teach that in my course, so check that out if you're interested. Now, going down to the hourly chart, couple things. So we've got a trend line on the hourly to watch right here, and this morning on the news they gapped down right there, and then the buyers stepped in and they bid it up, but all they really did was a back test right there. They just bid it right to the trend line back test, and now you can see they're starting to sell it. So I think the selling will be here from here on out until we start hitting some of these support levels. The support level that I have, if you look at the daily, this is really the first one. It's about minor support here, about 315. I think we'll go right through that, to be honest. And we've got another support. This was kind of your former reaction high, which was about 308.75. So I like that. I'm going to get rid of that one for now, and I'm going to get rid of all these except keep this one, because there's the uptrend line. So big support there, about 296.45. That's kind of the trade I like the best. I think we do this. I think we head down, maybe at that 308, get a little reaction, roll down, hit that. All right, that's the area. As of right now, I'll be looking to cover my short position and probably flip long for a bounce, likely another bounce up to here, or maybe even that 329 area, and a tag at the 200-day. Okay, so there's the trading plan. Short right now, looking for a move down to that trend line about 296. Okay, the SPY, which I do not trade, it just doesn't. It's got defensive stocks in there. We're at resistance right here. It's about 410. I suspect we fail. and head down to this trend line right here. All right, so this is where I think SPY's heading, down to here, hit that, probably find support around 390, and then bounce up to the longer term trend line. That's big resistance up there. So that's likely where the end of this rally will, this is where the end of the rally will be. So I don't think this is the end of the rally. I think we have a kind of a pullback and then run up, hit the 200-day. That's big resistance, okay? That's the downtrend line on the daily chart. So that's my trading plan for now. Short, catch this move down, probably flip long for a final move up, and then flip short for the kind of that longer term trend down. All right, small caps. Small caps actually it's kind of the cleanest chart. We had this bearish rising wedge chart pattern on the hourly, so there it is right there, and negative divergence has been building. This morning they gapped it down. I'm still short. I haven't touched it. I got short this thing yesterday. And in fact, I added to it on this kickback rally. So they gapped it down, they rallied it up right into resistance, and boom, we're at resistance. This is where the selling should commence. So this is where I added to my IWM short and looking for more selling. On the daily, the target, the other thing is we do have this downtrend line and we're above it slightly. Maybe we, at a minimum, we should head down to 185.50-ish, right in there. 185.75, something like that. That should be the minimum. I suspect we go lower. IWM doesn't really, if I go to the hourly, it doesn't have as clean of an uptrend line. So the measured target, we could do that. Measured target on this one is probably a move down to about 182-ish. Yeah, so we'll just watch that. There's a, right there, somewhere right there, about 182. So maybe we re-enter this, get a bounce, and then continue to roll. I don't know exactly how that one will play out, but I do think it's pretty favorable for a short, at least right now, down to about 182. And that is a move from where we're at now. It's about 4%. That makes sense. And I've been talking about these sectors, XLY at resistance. Again, you can see we're getting a reaction. So minimum, I think this one sells down and probably goes down and fills this gap right there. So minimum drop about 157. All right, I like that. XLI, yeah, really, kind of strong, stronger than the others, but still at resistance. Okay, you can see resistance. We should get a reaction here. Minimum target, probably need to go to the hourly for this one. You got a little reaction right in here, so probably about there, 90, we'll call it 90-50, 90-30, something like that. That would be a drop from where we're at of about 5%. Okay. XLF at resistance, you can see resistance through here. That's a kind of a zone of resistance, but right there. So minimum target on this one. Yeah, there's probably right down in here. Right about there, which that's 32.56. That would be a drop from where we're at, about 3%. And then very likely down to this 31.28 area, 31.50, somewhere right in there. Okay, so that's resistance. And quite possibly on these, there's nothing says that we're not starting the next leg lower right now. I mean, there is the possibility. I've kind of pointed out the area where I'm looking to cover my shorts and go long. But again, if we get a breakdown at that level, then we'll just, we'll act accordingly. Gold, gold still looks decent, still holding up, and to me, it looks like the buyers are in there this morning buying up these miners. They still look constructive. So, in general, I'm long gold and short growth right now, short tech, and I'm short IWM as well, and short Amazon. But let's look at GDX. You can see GDX. So yesterday looked like a breakout or a buy signal. Today they gapped it down, but let me move this arrow. You can see we're still, the buyers were in there buying that support right there. So far still looks constructive. This looks like we're going to head higher. I'd like to see a little bit more impulsive buying here. We're still in the zone of uncertainty where where it looks like a breakout, and a back test, but we don't know for sure. So let's just keep an eye on that one. But when I kind of scan through these miners, I'm seeing that they're still, nothing's technically broken. You know, we're not getting any real breakdowns. You know, here's one, Royal Gold. You know, they gapped it down below my trend line, but they stepped back in and bought it, and they're buying that support. So, you know, looks good to me. You see this trend line? All right, breakout, come in for a back test, and we're holding that support zone, that trend line. So, you know, that looks good. I mean, it's just, I'm seeing things like this across the board in these miners, so I still like them long. Eli Lilly, LLY, we had a sell signal yesterday. So there's your sell signal, and that came on the break of this bearish rising wedge pattern with negative divergence. Good setup. So I took that sell signal, I went short, and today we're down a little bit more. So continued selling. All right, that's just confirmation. Everything looks good. So I think we're heading down to the 200-day moving average and zone of support right down in here, about 283, 284. Depends on where this 200 falls, but you know, maybe right about 284. Tesla. So Tesla's back below the 200-day moving average, so that's bearish. See that? So on the daily, you can see that we were basically rising. We traded, we took 2 attempts at getting above the 200, but both of those failed. And then 2 days we spent above the 200, but today gapping down and getting sold back below the 200. So that looks bearish to me. On the hourly chart, negative divergence on the hourly. So again, the break above the 200 came with negative divergence on the hourly. So I think we fail, but we do have this trend line right here where they're likely going to try to hold it. And so we need to see that go right there for a more definitive move down. So I think it'll play out like this. We sell down to the trend line. They probably bounce like that. Then we break. It'll depend on what the triple Qs is doing as well. Okay, and then going back to the triple Qs, you can see that the sellers are in charge right now. So this is playing out. Guys, take my course if you haven't done so. This will help you, this will help you develop a skill set so that you're not just waiting for these videos to come out. I can't get them out in actionable, in a good time frame. The other thing is, though, I am going to be starting that membership. I will try to do something in the membership where I post a little bit more actionable ideas. If I'm trading during the day and I see something like this where I say, okay, that's a backtest, I could probably get that out to the membership, and you won't necessarily have to wait for the videos. But don't count on me putting out like day trading setups, and I'm not a day trader, so. All right, so look for that. I'll have that set up likely this weekend, and I will get this video out, guys. Catch you on the next.